Patreons get to watch videos like this early. So if you're a Patreon and you're watching this 1 week early, then I thank you. Patreon is the best way to support the channel, as it helps me speed up the process, get art, get editing, and much more stuff behind the scenes. Plus, you get some neat perks, like watching videos early, an extra mini podcast bi-weekly, and much more. So consider becoming a Patreon, and thank you guys. Be sure to subscribe, share, and click the bell icon so you never miss the best Dragon Ball What Ifs, and with that out of the way, enjoy! Several months pass after the fight against Frieza, and we find our heroes training at Capsule Corp. Vegeta had decided to visit his family more often, not only to help train Trunks, and even Bola sometimes, but because he genuinely liked being around them. Goku accompanied him so the two could spar and train together. Occasionally, the other Z fighters, as well as Chi-Chi, would come and visit him. Chi-Chi and Goku had been spending a lot more time together, growing even closer. Raditz, Buu, Goku, and Vegeta trained to their heart's content, as well as enjoying Bulma's food. Suddenly, something didn't feel quite right. Buu noticed it at first and looked towards the sky. Nothing was there, but he could feel it. He could feel a presence. All of a sudden, a white flash illuminated the sky and a weird spaceship appeared. Trunks, Bra, Buu, and Raditz were the only ones outside as they witnessed the ship land, or rather, crash, given the state it was in. Trunks rushed to the adults and informed them of the situation. Buu and Raditz watched curiously as Bulma rushed towards the vehicle, before asking Vegeta to help get him out. Only Bulma really knew who this was. For Trunks, it wasn't difficult to notice the similarities between himself and this new, future version of himself. Vegeta tried asking what the hell was going on, but before Bulma could get to explaining, there was a sudden crash. Future Trunks was awake and was already rushing towards Goku, aiming a punch straight to his face. Goku easily blocked the attack and gripped his wrist, glaring at the stranger harshly. Trunks doesn't back down, and in his delirium, starts to scream and shout about how they never should have trusted him, how he and his mother's trust was misplaced, and they should have always feared him. Goku tries to stop Trunks, but the attacks continue. Trunks can only repeat the idea that Bulma's trust in her best friend is what doomed them all. When he returned to the past, he should have struck him where he stood, or at least never given him that heart medicine. Buu even defends Goku, spreading over in front of him and stopping the attack, as Bulma finally yells out for them to stop, telling Trunks that Goku's not the same as he used to be. He has changed so much, evolved, and even saved the world. But Trunks simply couldn't believe it. That was until a rip in the sky opened once more. Like beforehand, Buu looked up to the sky, and sure enough, something appeared. A black tear materializing in the sky, followed by a man dressed in black. Another Son Goku. Trunks wasted no time in explaining the situation. How one day, this Goku appeared and started hunting everyone and everything on Earth to extinction. He had given him the name Goku Black. Despite him being his mortal enemy, Trunks unfortunately had no further knowledge or information on him. As far as he knew, this was just the Goku he saved. Trunks now had to deal with two evil Gokus. Black smirked after locking eyes with Trunks.
So, you thought you could escape me? You foolish mortal. Now prepare for...
His words trailed off as he looked towards Goku.
Perfect.
He whispered, firing a blast aimed at Goku. The real Goku jumped out of the way, confused. Was this really himself? The only explanation he can think of is that this could be a Goku from Trunks' future who was betrayed by his friends once again. But if he remembered correctly, Trunks had told him that that Goku was dead. The fight commenced between the two, with Goku surprised to see Black use Super Saiyan 4. That transformation had taken a lot to obtain, with Buu's help. If he had no friends, then how did he do this? Unlike the original Black, this Goku Black is accompanied by a set of swords. It's similar to the key swords and spikes which Zamasu often uses around himself, but these are real physical swords. Goku thinks this is silly, and there's no way they could actually hurt him, but to his surprise, every time Black launched a sword, it was just as painful as a ki blast. Raditz commented on how the swords seemed so familiar to him, but he didn't remember why. At one point, Zamasu appeared behind Goku with a sword in his hand, creating some sort of Kai spell on Goku. The Saiyan tried to fight it off, and it was successful at first. Whatever Black was doing was no good. The fight continued, with Goku bursting into full power Super Saiyan 4, but Zamasu taunted Goku and was relentless in his attack. Goku tried to grab one of the swords which was thrown at him, but to his surprise, it was extremely heavy and made him nearly tumble to the ground. It distracted him just for long enough. Black took this chance to appear behind Goku, opening his palm to summon another sword and the other to create the same Kai power from earlier. The distraction worked, and Goku was engulfed in bright light and sucked into the sword. Zamasu rejoiced. The sword became part of Black's collection around him. That's when Raditz's eyes widened as he finally recognized the sword. It was very similar to the Z sword, which he pulled out of the Kaioshin realm long ago. Black laughed maniacally, saying,
"One more trapped away."
As he said this, the portal once again opened behind him and he was pulled into it by force. Vegeta asked Trunks what the hell just happened, with Raditz saying that he has an idea, but they need to investigate first. They need to speak to Lord Beerus. Attracting him with food, Bulma summoned Beerus and Whis. They said that this better be good. He was watching the new season of Attack on Titan. Vegeta waved him off, saying that Raditz had something to ask. Raditz stepped up, telling Beerus that a man who looked just like Goku appeared from a portal and battled Goku. He wore a ring and used some sort of magic to create a sword and make Goku disappear. A sword? Oh, deja vu.
Indeed, how unoriginal.
But why Goku? Why did he look like him?
Would someone tell me what's going on?
Lord Beerus was the one who locked away the old Kai within the sea sword long ago. I suspected this. That sword looked just like the one I freed him from. Beerus went on to ask about the ring, but in the middle of talking, he realized that there was an older Trunks behind Vegeta. Trunks had either grown in the last few months, or they were messing around with time travel, weren't they? After a lot of arguing over the dangers of time travel, Beerus finally said that he would investigate. The ring must have been a time ring. In the meantime, stay put. Don't go after him. Time travel is against every rule imaginable. Of course, they couldn't just sit around and wait for Beerus and Whis. They needed to act, but Trunks still refused to listen to reason. He didn't want to trust that Goku at all. He still felt he was evil. Vegeta said that they couldn't waste any time, that he would not let Goku be simply taken. He grabbed onto Trunks and dragged him away. He was going to beat reason into him, training him to get stronger. Raditz already knew what they were going to do. They were going to travel to the future. He didn't stand by that. While he trained under the Kaioshin, he felt a lot of respect for them, and he refused to disobey them. He stepped away for a while. He needed to think about things. Seeing an evil version of his brother that way was very disturbing, but he knew if his hunch about the sea sword was right, he would be needed. Chi-Chi pleaded with Vegeta to bring Goku back, and Buu offered his help, and while Vegeta thanked him, he said that his powers simply wouldn't be enough this time around. He said that the pink blob would best serve Goku by protecting Chi-Chi in the past, in case that Goku Black guy ever returned. Chi-Chi and Buu waved off Trunks and Vegeta. Vegeta had spent a couple of days fighting Trunks, telling him that the only option they have is to rescue Goku and defeat Goku Black. He told him that he could feel his presence and that it was not the same as Goku. It was similar to the Goku he once knew long ago, but the one he is now was completely different. He is not the same man. Once they arrived in the future, Vegeta gasped as he saw everything desolated. It wasn't long before Goku Black appeared, with the swords still flying around him. He thanked them all for coming, because over the course of his ventures, he's realized that though Goku may be the biggest threat the multiverse has ever known, super warriors the likes of Vegeta and Trunks are nearly as dangerous. Though he may not need their power, he'll just kill them instead. Angry, Vegeta exclaimed that he'll show Goku Black that he's just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than Goku could ever be, bursting instantly into Super Saiyan Blue evolution. The fight is intense, as Trunks also helps out, though his power isn't able to match up against them. Black's Super Saiyan 4 was impressive, but it was clear that he was still getting used to the transformation, as if he had just discovered it not too long ago. He used this to his advantage, sliding under Goku Black grabbing him by the tail and slamming him against the floor. It didn't snap like Vegeta planned.
You may look like Kakarot, but you certainly aren't him. Tell me, who are you?
Black finally answered.
So, I've made myself that clear, huh? It's true. I'm not Son Goku. I was a Kaioshin in training long ago, and I witnessed the battles that your Son Goku had against the Universe 6 contestants, defeating all of them at once. That was impossible. Though I had always known that mortals needed to be cleansed, it was that moment that I realized that Son Goku was the biggest threat of them all. You see, different timelines had split up from my ventures. In my universe, I wished to have Goku's body, but killing him wasn't enough. He was far too dangerous to be kept in the other world. I needed to keep him in a limbo-like state, but I was not satisfied. I may have trapped one Son Goku, but I needed to do that to every Son Goku in every reality. Every single sword you see around me contains a different version of Son Goku. I've learned from each one of them. This transformation in particular, I learned from another Goku, one that was in the midst of battle against a different version of you, Vegeta. Of course, I killed him too. Now, it seems proper to show you this. I may not be able to access that full power Super Saiyan 4 state that Son Goku had, but being a Kaioshin has perks of his own. I call this Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. What do you think of this rosé color? Beautiful, isn't it?
With Limit Break Super Saiyan 4, Black is able to easily beat down on Vegeta and Trunks. Even with Super Saiyan Blue evolution, Vegeta is slowly being broken down, to the point where Trunks tells him that he needs to escape. Vegeta tells Trunks that they have to do this together, that he's not leaving him behind. But Trunks insists that if they leave Black alone, there's no guarantee that he will stick around, and they may lose their only chance of saving Goku. Vegeta finally listens to reason and escapes to the past, leaving Trunks all alone to face off against Black until they return. Vegeta arrives in the past, where Bulma takes him inside Capsule Corp to heal him. Raditz arrives soon after. Vegeta thinks they need to get Lord Beerus right now, but Raditz thinks they can do this without his aid. He's also worried about how they may react to the fact that they've been messing around with time. Vegeta is apprehensive at first, but Raditz explains that he may be the only one who can save Goku. After healing, the two travel back to the future. They find Trunks impaled by Black's blades, hanging on a wall by his jacket. Consumed by blinded rage, Vegeta rushes in and slams Black across the face while Raditz tries to grab the swords from where Trunks was hanging. He gives him a senzu bean first, before getting him down. As Raditz grabs onto the swords, they are immediately propelled backwards into Goku Black and his circle of swords. Raditz curses. Trunks thanks Raditz and asks what he needs from him. Raditz simply says that they need to get those swords from Black. Trunks and Vegeta continue the battle against Black in a fantastic team-up. Raditz as well tries his best, but he's unable to be nothing more than a mere fly compared to Zamasu's great power. And to Zamasu, there's nothing to do but swat the flies away, as Zamasu launches a sword right through Raditz's arm. Zamasu proclaims his victory as Raditz begins to laugh. This Saiyan grabs onto the handle of the blade and focuses his ki to use Spirit Fission and bring out Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Raditz sighs in relief as the sword fades away, pleading with Goku to help them out against Zamasu, but the plead was followed by a punch to the face. Raditz rubbed his nose in pain as he got up from the rubble of the building.
I knew Dr. Mew was up to something. It's time to send all you villains back to hell and defeat 17.
Raditz was confused, but then it clicked. This wasn't their Goku. Raditz tried to explain that he was trapped away by Zamasu, with GT Goku turning his head and finally remembering.
Yeah, that's right. I was battling against 17 when that guy showed up. He defeated 17 and sealed me away. We have to stop him.
Raditz tells Goku that there are many more like him trapped away, and that Raditz will be able to get them out if Goku gets Zamasu's sword. So, Goku joins Vegeta, asking him if that blue form is Super Saiyan 5. Raditz wouldn't be much help, with Zamasu cursing him and trying to use his swords as least as possible. They were having a difficult time trying to obtain the swords, with Zamasu keeping them away by using his lightning absolution, striking them down. But GT Goku recognized that Zamasu opened his arms out when using the lightning. He looked back at Raditz and asked him to follow his lead. Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta teleported around, trying to avoid the lightning flashes, while Vegeta and Trunks tried to blast at him. This allowed Goku and Raditz to teleport right behind Black and grab onto two swords in the ring. Goku commented on how he had noticed that Super 17 had to open his arms out and lower his guard to absorb ki. This is the same general idea. This allowed Raditz to free two more Gokus. One was Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and the other a Goku with a more heroic demeanor.
Well, I'm certainly not in Kansas anymore.
That energy! Zamasu again. I won't let you get away.
After explaining the situation to the other Gokus, the battle continued. It was interesting for Vegeta to see Goku with a Super Saiyan Blue state. Clearly, there were many ways their timelines could have gone, but it didn't matter. He wants his friend back. But Zamasu wouldn't allow his swords to be taken again. That was until every single Goku used their Kamehameha. Vegeta the Final Flash, Trunks the Masenko, and Raditz the Double Sunday. Zamasu was being forced to defend himself as Raditz teleported and grabbed the last few swords, using another Yardrat technique, body multiplication, to grab as many swords as possible. Suddenly, multiple Gokus began to show up. Kaioshin Goku, Marvel Goku, SD Goku, Xeno Goku, Evolution Goku, Vegito, even a Goku Jr. and a Gokule. One final sword was left, and Zamasu wouldn't let anyone take it. He screamed as all the Gokus grabbed onto the hilt. This was the culmination of everything Zamasu had learned. He had to keep them away. Every single Goku he battled was just in order to get stronger, strong enough to defeat and trap the last Goku in that sword, the one he called the Betrayed Goku. All the Goku grabbed onto the hilt, even to the blade, and tried to take it from Zamasu, but the Kaioshin used his power to pull it back at full force. It was a tug of war with the sword in mid-air until it finally broke apart and a bright light pushed them all back. Raditz screams, thinking that his brother had perished, but as their eyes cleared, full-power Super Saiyan 4 Goku emerged.
I'll forgive you that you're late in saving me if you forgive me about being late in escaping.
The Z Fighters cheered as all the Gokus stood side by side, staring down at Goku Black, their evil mirror counterpart. He screamed about how it wasn't fair, that he wasn't done. He began to create clones of himself all around, overtaking a number of Gokus. The Z Fighters huddled up.
Better get this done quickly and return to where we belong.
We need to do this. For Chi-Chi, Goten, Pan, Gohan, and the rest.
Gohan?
Who are you?
I'm Goku.
Huh. Seriously?
But the comment about Chi-Chi and Gohan caught our Goku's attention. Chi-Chi, Gohan. He looked around. All these Gokus had families. Yet, so much strive for battle. The changes he had been making in his own life were clearly the right path. He had to win and return to Chi-Chi. Our Goku took a few steps forward.
Zamasu, you don't have to do this. You still have time to change and repent for your misdeeds.
You insolent mortal. You dare talk to me as if we're equals?
Because we are. I was in a similar position, full of anger and hatred. I promise you, there is a chance for you to change. Just accept my hand.
Don't you dare touch me. You all are pests, rats. Now die.
Then it is a lost cause. Sorry everyone, I had to try. Let's do this. Let's defeat Goku Black. Oh, and Zamasu, you didn't really think you were the first one to discover this form, right?
What?
Goku's aura lit up bright, exposing the power of godhood to Goku's primal state. Goku's hair turned a pinkish red as he showed off his Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker.
I discovered this form a while back, while in the time chamber with Buu. It's the reason why Beerus felt God Ki when I first exited the chamber. As I said, Zamasu, we are equals.
The Z-Fighters cheered and rushed forward, taking on as many Zamasu as possible. Sadly, Evolution Goku was one of the casualties during the battles, but Zamasu seemed to be infinite. There were so many of him. GT, Super, and Betrayed Goku huddled up. Super Goku suggested a Spirit Bomb, and GT Goku agreed, but Betrayed Goku had no idea what they were talking about. They looked at him in confusion, telling him just to watch and learn. Super Goku and GT Goku rose up to the sky, with their arms out, beginning to collect energy from all the beings around the universe. The amount of energy that all the Goku gave was immense. Raditz commented on how this was similar to the Spirit Fission avatar he gave Goku, but even stronger. The giant Spirit Bomb floated high above everyone else, while Zamasu continued to attack, blasting the two Goku holding it up. It was painful. They weren't sure if they could keep it up. Two Goku Black grabbed onto them as they began to be dragged away. Vegeta, Trunks, Raditz, and the other Goku were trying to defend them and fight Zamasu, but to no avail. Zamasu cackled and declared himself the winner, but the Spirit Bomb remained. When he looked back up, he realized Goku, the last one he had sealed away, the one that pushed him to his very limit, the Limit Breaker Goku, had rose up to the occasion and held up the Spirit Bomb himself, the hopes of everyone on his shoulders. Super Goku cheered, but Zamasu began to laugh, tears of joy. He knew it. He knew he would win.
No, the Spirit Bomb. It's meant to be used by the purest of hearts. That Goku, he must be. No, that Kakarot is one of the bravest Saiyans I've ever met. He can do it. He can win because he's changed. Because he's become a hero. All of you have to trust him. Come on, Goku. You are #1.
Goku's eyes opened in a bright light as the Spirit Bomb faded into Goku's own body, his aura emanating a blue flare with lightning surrounding him.
I've won without the Spirit Bomb, I've won!
If I don't do it,
You puny mortals have nothing!
if I don't do it,
And you deserve to be locked away, like animals!
if I don't do it, then who will?
What the?
Dragon Fist!
Zamasu and all the other clones of him dissolved into nothingness, and all the Genki created from the punch dissipated, leaving nothing but a clear sky behind. It was a short time for celebration, as all the Goku held onto the time machine and returned to the past. Once there, they were greeted by Beerus and Whis. They were extremely upset, but not as upset as when they saw the dozen Goku hanging from the time machine. They all explained everything to them.
That confirmed my suspicions about Zamasu, huh, Whis? Will you take care of the other Goku?
Of course, Lord Beerus. I will make sure they return to their exact reality. Come along, everyone. The Goku were each individually taken to their respective places with the help of the Grand Priest. In the meantime, Goku and Beerus arrived at Gowazu's Kaioshin realm. Beerus confronted Zamasu, putting a hand over his face. He knew he was about to kill Gowazu. He was to be destroyed for his actions, but Goku stepped in the way and grabbed onto Beerus' hand. Whis, Beerus, and Zamasu's eyes all widened.
No, Beerus. This Zamasu hasn't done anything yet. We can still change him. We can turn him good.
You mortal. Why you?
Goku turned and put his other hand over Zamasu's mouth. He told Beerus that he just needs guidance. Goku knows what it's like to be so angry, to only want power. But Goku has changed, and so can Zamasu. Beerus was angry but put the Hakai down. He told Goku that Zamasu was his responsibility then. Zamasu was still confused, but if it meant not being killed, then he would take it. He'll just have to kill Gowazu and take Goku's body some other time. If his penalty is to spend some more time with Goku, then so be it. He will just learn more about him on the way. Goku turned to Zamasu with a smirk.
Alright, I guess you're my responsibility. The Tournament of Power is right around the corner. So come on, I need a training partner. I'll make you participate in it and face you when the time comes.
And so, the adventures of Goku, Vegeta, and the rest continue next.
Dragon Ball Super.
Son Goku and Zamasu clash overhead while Vegeta watches closely, analyzing the movements of his rival. Zamasu had been training with Goku for the past few months, as the Saiyan had been tasked with keeping an eye on him. Though Zamasu tried a couple of times to kill Goku, he failed, ultimately realizing that there is no point in fighting, and resorted to working with Goku to make himself stronger. In fact, Goku encouraged Zamasu to fight and try to get stronger in order to kill him. He wanted to mold Zamasu into a formidable foe, and knew that, through their training, he would change the god. Goku slammed Zamasu to the ground, creating a huge shockwave across Beerus' planet. This annoyed the god of destruction, and he yelled at them to calm down. Zamasu stood up, groaning. He was really trying his best to learn everything he could about Goku. If what they said was true about his future self taking Goku's body and trapping many others, then he needed to try and avoid these mistakes and learn everything Goku had under his sleeve. But part of him was really enjoying it already.
Will you two keep it down?
Sorry, Lord Beerus. With the tournament power coming up, I want to make sure that Zamasu is prepared to be a good contender.
You're helping our enemy? Why, yada.
Beerus was annoyed at Goku and admitted to himself that he still thought this Saiyan could potentially be the most dangerous threat to the universe. But the actions he displayed, trying to change Black, stopping Vegeta from killing Frieza, rehabilitating Zamasu, and saving the universe, perhaps this Saiyan really was trying his best to atone for his sins. Vegeta stepped in and told Beerus not to worry. They can handle it easily. However, they still needed a few more members for the team. So far they had Goku, Vegeta, Tien, 18, 17, Buu, Future Trunks, and Raditz. Goku had insisted that Beerus lets Trunks stay for the battle before returning to the future. Goku had brought up Frieza as a member, but Vegeta continued to refuse. Beerus intervened, telling Vegeta that Frieza isn't a bad idea. Vegeta continued to argue, but while arguing with Beerus, Goku was already teleporting Zamasu back to his own universe and teleporting to Frieza's ship to bargain. Frieza was startled at him. He wasn't ready to face him just yet. Despite training non-stop since his defeat, he knew he didn't have the strength to face Goku right now. But he wasn't about to let him know that. Frieza agreed to participate, only because it would mean that he could use the Dragon Balls to expand his empire beyond Universe 7. Vegeta was speechless once Goku returned. He yelled at Kakarot, saying that they needed one more person still. But allies like Yamcha and Krillin don't stand a chance. They could bring 16 along, but I have the perfect candidate, Vegeta. Well, you'll have to trust me. You'll do whatever it is, regardless of if I approve of it or not. You're right about that. Bye. Goku appeared over at Baba's place, where the witch watched him walk in, terrified. She still remembered the last time him and Vegeta battled there. Goku had a serious request. He wanted to bring back an old adversary to help them in battle, the only being to ever take his life. Someone he knew loved a fierce battle as much as him, maybe even more so. He wanted to bring back Cell. Baba was perplexed by this idea. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. That monster had caused the death of not only Goku but so many others. Was this wise? Goku told Baba that the fate of the universe depended on it. Though hesitant, she finally allowed it, and the perfect android, Cell, appeared before Goku.
It has been too long, son Goku.
Not long enough, but I've looked forward to our next encounter. I promise you, when we fight this time, I won't hold back for the sake of the planet. But first, I need your help. Goku explained to Cell their situation, and he agreed enthusiastically. He didn't even care that he would be back just for a day. As long as he got to fight the strongest foes, he would be satisfied. But told Goku to prepare himself. For every minute he spent in hell, Cell kept himself busy by image training, calculating countless scenarios on how to kill Goku. He was far more powerful than he ever was before, and Goku knew it. The two returned to Vegeta, who once again nearly killed Goku over this choice. Once things calmed down, the three trained hard over at Beerus's, but Cell wanted more than just the sparring match. That would just have to wait. It was really awkward between them.
So, Vegeta, what's the Red Ribbon up to nowadays?
I think they're a pharmaceutical company or something. I've heard Bulma talk about someone named Dr. Hito. Not like it matters. No way they're gonna try something stupid like bringing you back.
Huh, yeah, that would be crazy.
The team was set. Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Frieza, Cell, Buu, 17, 18, Tien, and Raditz. Prior to departing, Goku and Vegeta said goodbye to Chi-Chi and Bulma, with Chi-Chi hugging Goku tightly and telling him to come back soon because, well, Chi-Chi told Goku that she was pregnant. Goku's eyes widened. Looking at Chi-Chi, he could see a mirage of his old friend, the little imaginary Gohan. Goku didn't have many words. He just smiled and said, "We'll name him Gohan." And so, the team set sail to the multiversal arena, where fighters from all over awaited the battle. Seno cheered for Goku and the rest as they walked on stage, but Goku felt like he had a huge target on his back. The other fighters knew of his escapades against Universe 6, and he was now the primary target. Even if he was stronger than all of them, he couldn't take on such a large number of opponents, right? Goku nodded at the others. It was time. As soon as the tournament began, the majority of the Universal Fighters rushed towards Universe 7, aiming to destroy Goku as quickly as possible. The rest of the Z Fighters jumped out of the way as Goku took a deep breath and exploded his aura, causing a huge wave of ki that knocked dozens of fighters out of the arena. The only few that remained were the strongest. This caused Jiren, the Pride Trooper with the power of a god, to open his eyes. That power was impressive. The trio of the Dangerous rushed towards Goku, while some of the other fighters ran away from Universe 7. The gods of destruction all looked at Beerus. This was not fair. Goku was joined by Raditz and Vegeta as they battled the wolves. The team-up of the three great Super Saiyans caused the arena to shake, while Tien battled Hit. He had been looking forward to their match since the last time he saw Goku battle him, a former assassin versus the multiverse's most dangerous assassin. While Tien couldn't beat him in power, he could use his various abilities to best him. 17 and 18 battled the Kamikaze Fireballs, which 17 had a lot of fun fighting. They largely had the upper hand through the battle, beating the three of them with a final sacrifice from Android 18. Buu and Dispo had an exhilarating battle, as the now skinny Majin Buu really wanted a pet rabbit. Dispo was way too fast, but Buu stopped him in place multiple times. Though their battle was interrupted by a giant Kikoho from Tien, the last bit of energy being used as he destroyed the arena where Hit stood. Tien took many fighters along with him as he fell into the void, though Hit managed to remain and grab onto the arena at the very last second. Bergamo stomped around the arena trying to crush Goku, but the Saiyan ran up his arm once he punched down, grabbing onto his finger and throwing him out of the arena by it, while Raditz and Vegeta blasted the other two out of the arena. As they did this, Anilasa, the fusion of all of Universe 3, blinded everyone as he revealed himself. Goku and the others turned around, though Raditz told Vegeta and Goku to leave this to him. He has a plan. The Ultimate Saiyan rushed fearlessly into battle, with a fist full of ki. Goku and Vegeta nodded at each other, running to opposite ends of the arena. In the meantime, Zamasu was using everything he had learned during the sparring matches against Goku to defeat as many opponents as possible. He was really enjoying this, though many fighters protested his inclusion as unfair. However, his role of God had been stripped from him, and now was but a civilian until he proved himself. Son Goku landed in front of Zamasu with a smirk. It was time to finally challenge him again. Zamasu chuckled. He didn't think he'd be this excited to fight a mortal enemy. Without another word, the two clashed. Goku was a Super Saiyan 4, but Zamasu was quickly pushing him to use his full power Super Saiyan 4. He was impressed. His techniques were already more refined than Goku Black's. Even so, he wouldn't let him win. Some of the other fighters stopped their battles to admire the fight between a god and a god. In the meantime, Raditz threw himself at Anilasa, grabbing onto his antenna and using Spirit Fission to grab out one of the robots, completely breaking down the fusion. As the various robots fell apart, Raditz used a double Sunday while falling, causing them all to go flying out of the arena. As explosions happened in the background, Zamasu seemed to gain the upper hand, saying,
"You have lost, Saiyan. So now praise and venerate the most noble and all-powerful god, Zamasu."
You might be right, Zamasu, but what if I was stuck in a time chamber for 50 years?
What?
Just think about it. No, what even is a time chamber?
It's just a hypothetical!
Oh my god!
SmugStick!
Goku said to Zamasu that he was proud of his strength, as the two fired their respective blast when Goku screamed,
Times 10!
and finally defeated Zamasu. Toppo battled against 17 and hit, where he took in the power of the God of Destruction and knocked 17 out of the arena. Kaba battled Vegeta, who became a master figure to him. He told Vegeta that the battle against Goku inspired him to reach new heights, showing off Super Saiyan 3, but that wouldn't be enough against Vegeta, as he told Kaba that he had something under his sleeve. Instead, he looked at future Trunks and told him to show Kaba all he's got. Thus, both students of Vegeta clashed, with neither of them having a clear upper hand until the end, where Trunks was about to win, but Kaba tapped into his full potential and both of them were knocked out of the arena. Frieza and Cell battled back to back as they knocked tens of opponents out of the arena. Cell was jealous of that power, but realized that he could potentially achieve it since he is made up of Frieza cells as well. Frieza chuckled. No cheap copy could ever compare to him. The two nearly came to fist, but Caulifla and Kale appeared before them. Frieza saw this as a chance to take care of even more Saiyans, while Cell saw this as a chance to better himself. The two teamed up against the Saiyans, who saw no other way to defeat the villains besides fusing. The technique surprised Cell and Frieza, but their team-up was flawless. Even with the power-up, Kefla couldn't stand a chance against the evildoers. And while fighting, Cell and Frieza argued what their fusion name would be, and decided on Salsa. Kefla was getting annoyed that they weren't taking the fight seriously, and started to slowly rampage, similarly to Kale. Frieza and Cell knew they had to end this quickly before she became trouble. Cell used his ki to cut the ground where she stood on, but Kefla jumped out of the way. Frieza fired a death ball, which Kefla caught and tried to push back. What she didn't expect was Cell and Frieza standing back to back, firing a double death beam through the death ball and piercing Kefla's arms, forcing her out of the ring. Only 10 minutes into the tournament, most fighters were already defeated. A match between Vegeta and Toppo began, while Goku had a rematch against Hit. Vegeta's fight was the toughest he'd had in a long time, as the power of the God of Destruction just proved to be too much. He knew he would have to take drastic measures, absorbing all of the ki he had and clutched his hand, looking up to the sky.
This is for you, Bulma. Both Trunks, Bra, Kaba, and yes, even you, Kakarot.
Vegeta's explosion in power caused everyone to stop fighting. Toppo was extremely hurt, but still in the arena. The Universe 7 fighters cursed, but Goku smirked. Toppo sighed in relieved. But, oh, is that?
Vegeta actually did it.
Toppo's eyes widened as Vegeta's stone self began to crack into a silver light, revealing a brand new form from within. The Prince of All Saiyans had unlocked Ultra Instinct Omen. The real battle will begin. Next, Dragon Ball Super.
This is for you, Bulma. Both Trunks, Bra, Kaba, and yes, even you, Kakarot.
Vegeta's explosion in power caused everyone to stop fighting. Toppo was extremely hurt, but still in the arena. The Universe 7 fighters cursed, but Goku smirked. Toppo sighed in relieved. But, oh, is that?
Vegeta actually did it.
Toppo's eyes widened as Vegeta's stone self began to crack into a silver light, revealing a brand new form from within. The Prince of All Saiyans had unlocked Ultra Instinct Omen. So this was the power which Whis had spoken about long ago. Vegeta quickly gained the upper hand, as Toppo couldn't touch Vegeta. Goku was happy to see Vegeta progress quickly, using Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker to continue the fight against Hit, and finally defeat him. However, Goku's victory was short-lived, as he felt someone grab his face, and Vegeta's too. It was Jiren, who saved Toppo from defeat. He dragged the two Saiyans out of the way. Toppo thanked Jiren. He was surprised that he saved him. After all, Jiren always said that he didn't trust anyone, and that he always wanted to fight alone. When Vegeta and Goku looked back, they saw Toppo, Jiren, and Dispo stand together in a fighting stance. Cell, Frieza, and Buu stood behind Goku and Vegeta. The final battle was about to begin. The teams rushed towards one another, with Frieza and Cell being blitzed by Dispo, while Toppo body slammed them into confusion. Buu got Toppo off of them by completely covering him with his body, but Toppo expanded his aura and burned off Buu. Buu, giving him a chance to throw him out of the arena. This gave Cell and Frieza an opportunity to fire a death beam from every single one of their fingers, stopping Dispo in his tracks by hitting his leg. Toppo went over to help his friend. In the meantime, Jiren battled Goku and Vegeta. He was completely against the wall. Goku alone could have defeated him. He was genuinely surprised. But Jiren activated his full power, which caught the other two by surprise and gave him a chance to pull back. However, Cell appeared from behind, held onto Jiren, and laughed.
What the hell are you doing, Cell?
I told you, I only agreed to this if I got to fight the strongest. I won't let you have this.
No, wait!
A huge explosion engulfed the arena, causing everybody to be blown back. When the dust settled, only Goku, Jiren, and Vegeta remained on their feet. The explosion damaged Jiren, but it didn't defeat him. Goku cursed. The battle wasn't over. Frieza was nowhere to be seen, but Dispo and Toppo walked behind Jiren, supporting his friend. However, Jiren told them to leave him be. He didn't need their help. He could handle this on his own. Goku looked quietly, his eyes squinting. This Jiren, he was just like him, how he used to be.
Cover me. You're not really going to do this alone, are you?
I've got a lesson to teach them.
Wait, Kakarot!
Goku rushed forward, dodging and weaving between blasts that Toppo and Dispo fired. Vegeta groaned, but did as told, blasting their way. The two sets of ki bullets exploded against each other, clouding everyone's vision. But Goku knew exactly where to go, and he crashed headfirst against them. Jiren caught the punch, to which all three Pride Troopers began to battle against Goku. Jiren commanded the other two to grab him by his arms, which they do. Goku smiled. This is what he wanted. Jiren continued to push Goku off of the edge, the four of them going flying down into the abyss. Jiren's plan was to take Goku down with them.
Jiren, you have to jump back. What? One of us has to stay behind and defeat the other Saiyan. It has to be you. But I won't leave you two. You've already won us the tournament. Go! Right, okay. Thank you, my friend.
So this is trust, the power of Universe 11.
A bright flash emanated from the fight as Jiren jumped back into the arena. It seemed like Goku's fate was sealed. But I'm glad you learned to trust your friends, Jiren. It took me a long time to do that.
What?
Toppo, Jiren, and Dispo were all struck by a barrage of punches as they fell down into the abyss. Goku was engulfed by a purple light, his hair flowing upwards. Universe 7 had won the tournament, but beyond that...
So, you've been hiding this from me too, huh?
I wanted to make sure you reached your own path first, Vegeta. Now we both have reached our Ultra states. This is what I like to call Ultra Ego.
Wow, that was so good! Best fight I've ever seen!
That concludes the Tournament of Power.
Wait, Zeno, don't you think that was a little short? We still have 20 more minutes to go.
What are you doing, Kakarot?
Yeah!
Well then, Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, Buu, come at me.
What?
So you knew I was still around, huh, Saiyan? That rubble really was uncomfortable.
You knew I would regenerate. I expect nothing less from you, Son Goku.
Boo excited to fight! Boo want to fight!
Oh, a 4v1? That sounds fun.
But first, bring back all the universes. That's my wish. I want an audience. Thus, Son Goku stared directly at his greatest foes, the Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta, the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza, the perfect android, Cell, and the demonic force of nature, Majin Buu. Goku taunted them to come at him as they all expanded their aura. Everyone was in shock, and the Saiyan was instantly pushed back. The four of them bounced off of each other very well, having been heated opponents for so long. Though Cell and Frieza were evil right now, they weren't his enemies. They were four warriors having the most intense fight of their lives. To Goku, this was the purest show of trust. This is what he wanted. This was an emblem to show how much he had changed since being trapped in the time chamber. Goku didn't fight carelessly anymore. He fought with purpose. He fought because he trusted their abilities. Buu, his best friend, was the one who knew how to counter him the best. Even so, Goku had tricks up his sleeve. The aggressive nature of Ultra Ego allowed him to push Buu back while dropping to the ground, spinning and kicking the others away. Vegeta dodged the kick and stepped on Goku. He kicked the Saiyan up to the sky, where Cell and Frieza followed him up. The two villains fired a blast down, but Goku opened his eyes in mid-air, causing a ki that exploded the enemy's ki blast. All four enemies looked down at him, charging another set of attacks. A final flash, a death beam, a kamehameha, and a planet burst ball. The four beams covered too much ground for Goku to counter with a simple kamehameha, as the blast combined into a huge one. Goku had no other choice. He just started to punch. Punch after punch, he ate into the beams, flying up towards his enemies, his adversary's eyes widening. When Goku finally reached them, he opened his aura, bursting all four of them away. Goku took his chance and rushed after Buu, smashing his head against him and knocking him out of the arena. Buu's techniques were probably the most dangerous out of them all. He had to get rid of him first. The other three followed Goku, but he quickly turned, saying, "Rock," as he punched Vegeta, "Scissors," when poking Frieza's eyes, and "Paper," while slapping Cell away. Goku charged up his Kamehameha, teleporting behind Cell and firing it off, defeating him. Now there were two left. All of the audience was cheering, others ranting. All of them were both terrified and excited to see someone so powerful. Frieza and Vegeta stood side by side, with the prince hating having to team up with the Emperor. The two rushed towards Goku but were completely out of sync. Goku had an easier time fighting this battle than before, biting down on Frieza's tail at one point before grabbing him and spinning him into Vegeta. Vegeta easily dodged out of the way thanks to Ultra Instinct Omen, but Frieza wasn't so lucky, as he was ringed out. Now, the two destined rivals, Vegeta and Goku, stared each other down. This was the fight both of them had been waiting for such a long time. The two of them took a battle stance very familiar to us, and without wasting time, without saying a word, Goku and Vegeta clashed, causing Zeno and the Grand Priest to be pushed back some, and the stance started to break apart. It's an incredible fight, with neither giving too much ground. Even so, Goku is still stronger. Vegeta had to rely on everything, firing a Gallic gun in response to Goku's Kamehameha. The energy goes back and forth between who could win, but Goku begins to add his newly acquired Destroyer energy into the Kamehameha. From the stance, Kaioshin and Tien yell at Goku. Was he trying to kill Vegeta? Goku yelled back, "No. He just wants to push him to his very limit." The Destroyer Kamehameha slowly approaches Vegeta, with him struggling to keep it together. It is then when Vegeta closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. In the blink of an eye, Vegeta disappeared and Goku was slammed against the ground as the Kamehameha dissipated. In its place was something that resembled a galaxy, with a figure standing over Goku, fist dug firmly into his chest. Goku smiled proudly. Now this was Ultra Instinct. Vegeta's white hair sparkled. Now Goku could go all out. The two of them battled for nearly 20 more minutes as time began to run out, punching each other straight in the face. Goku and Vegeta fall onto the stage, with Zeno wondering what happens now. The Grand Priest decides to count to 10. The first person to get up before the 10 count and announces victory will be the winner. As everyone in the stands begins to count down along with the Grand Priest, it seems like Vegeta will stand up first. Hearing words of encouragement from Trunks, Kaba, and Bulma, Vegeta stands up, but then Goku hears people cheering for him as well, and stands up. Raditz, Buu, Tien, Grandpa Gohan, the androids, Krillin, Cell, Frieza, even Piccolo and Kami. The people whom Goku had endangered the most and hurt so much over the course of the last 40 years were cheering for him. Goku thinks back to Grandpa Gohan's words while he was in the other world about learning to forgive even when it seems impossible. All these people, some more than others, had forgiven Goku for what he did back when he was betrayed and lost. Yet, they were rooting for him regardless. This gives Goku the motivation he needs, the strength he needs to stand back up and announce himself as the winner before him and Vegeta collapse back down onto the ground. The Tournament of Power was over. The stadium erupted in cheers, with Goku surrounded by sparkles, as well as Vegeta, the Grand Priest healing them both, declaring the Tournament of Power had been a rambunctious success. Though, he does still do it again. Goku promised Jiren and the rest to fight them again sometime. with Whis getting everyone ready to return home. Cell was great help, and though he didn't really want anything beyond fighting strong opponents, he did take the opportunity when Whis offered to revive him, the halo on top of his head disappearing, and once they returned home, he actually celebrated with everyone. Unlike Frieza, who just left to space, Cell promised to kill every single one of them, but just this once, he could take it a little slow. Following the party, Cell left. Nobody knew where he went. They just saw him fly up towards space, becoming a twinkle in their eyes. But Vegeta had the bad feeling that they would see him again. Goku hugged Chi-Chi, making sure to be careful. He was excited to see his son, though a part of him was worried. He had been getting older, and all the times he spent in the time chamber were only working against him. But Zamasu tapped his shoulder, telling him that he was ready to continue to train. He wanted to kill Goku. Both of them smirked at each other, and he said, "I know the right place to do that in. Follow me, Zamasu." The pair left, but something evil was brewing. Frieza, who had left the tournament immediately, started to look for various creatures around the universe that could potentially be a pawn against Goku, with his latest one being Broly. It has been a few months since the Tournament of Power, and Goku's training with Zamasu continues. He has seen a huge change of heart, even though Zamasu continues to insist that he wants to kill Goku. The two have been training multiple times within the hyperbolic time chamber, though after a while, Zamasu realized that Goku insisted on simply using Super Saiyan 4 and its variations, not using Ultra Ego or anything like that. Goku's excuse was that he just felt more comfortable in this state. Unknown to him, Vegeta and the rest, a powerful opponent would be heading to Earth soon, as Frieza had been scouting the universe for powerful beings to make his ally. Two soldiers, Shilai and Lemo, find just that as they encounter the old Saiyan, Paragus, on planet Vampa. Alongside him, they find Broly, a Saiyan that had been cast away before the destruction of planet Vegeta by its king, Vegeta's father, King Vegeta. They are invited by Frieza, as he has plans for them to head to Earth and get revenge on Vegeta and Goku. Broly's power is no doubt special. Frieza feels that if he has a Saiyan pawn, then he'll be able to train and surpass Goku. But first, he had to test out that theory, heading to Earth in order to find the Dragon Balls. The Frieza force is immediately confronted by Goku and Vegeta, and Zamasu. Frieza was caught by surprise by seeing him there. As Broly steps out of the ship, Goku walks around him, analyzing him. He thought to himself that he could probably take him on. It would be a tough fight, but he would probably win by himself. He then turned back to look at Zamasu and told him to take him on. Frieza was upset, and so was Paragus. They wanted revenge on Vegeta and Goku, not some Kaioshin. Goku simply waved them off and told Zamasu that this would be a great test. Zamasu had grown so much over the past few months. He wanted to see where he was at. Broly didn't really question anything, and the two clashed. Zamasu was clearly dominating the fight at first, as Broly was being fairly passive. Vegeta couldn't believe that a Saiyan was getting thrown around like that, and he started actually coaching Broly along the way, telling him, dodge left, dodge right. Goku said that this wasn't fair, but Vegeta said that Broly clearly didn't have much proper training, looking back at Paragus, so he just needed a little bit of coaching. As Broly slowly started doing better and better thanks to Vegeta's teachings, and learning as he fought, Broly's power increased, slowly starting to berserk. Zamasu commented on how that Kale girl from the Tournament of Power did something similar, but he knew how to take care of this. He just needed to slow him down, using a flurry of swords to stop Broly in place and firing a lightning absolution at him. But Broly opened his aura up to stop the lightning in place and actually grabbed the Keyblades with his bare hands and broke them off of him. Zamasu was incredibly surprised. This Broly guy was nothing to ignore. In a different reality, perhaps he would have been a better choice to take the body of. Then his future self would have won, not like it mattered now. The fight continued, as Vegeta asked why exactly they were here. Paragus explained that he was cast away as King Vegeta feared what he might become. He feared this power that threatened his reign. Goku stayed quiet while Paragus told the story, relating to Broly, how Kami was afraid of his power and locked him away. They weren't too dissimilar. In fact, he felt like that berserk state that Broly had, Goku himself might have tapped into at one point or another while training in the time chamber. Broly began to overwhelm Zamasu as his attacks became more and more erratic. Goku was getting a little worried. He had been training with Zamasu for so long, the Kaioshin had to put those skills to good use, but Frieza realized that he just needed that little bit of a push. Screaming out to Broly, while piercing through Paragus' heart at the same time, Frieza yelled out about how one of the blasts was deflected and killed Paragus along the way. Broly became enraged, bursting into Super Saiyan. Broly grabbed Zamasu by the face and dragged him across the snow, throwing him into Goku and Vegeta. Goku caught his student, while Vegeta rose up to the sky and followed Broly, challenging him. But this Vegeta is much stronger than the one we know, and he has one trick up his sleeve: Ultra Instinct, dodging and weaving out of the way of every single punch that Broly threw his way. Even during the berserker rage of Super Saiyan Broly, Vegeta was still able to dodge quite a bit, but it was getting harder and harder. Finally, Goku decided that he had given enough fun to Vegeta, himself jumping upwards as a Super Saiyan 4. Vegeta told him to stop kidding around and quickly use Ultra Ego, but Goku refused, saying that this should be enough. The two Earthling Saiyans teamed up and battled the monster, ultimately finishing off the fight with a Gallic Gun and Kamehameha. Unlike the original story, however, they're not trying to kill Broly like what Gogeta was apparently trying to do. So, neither Shile nor Lemo make the wish for him to be taken to planet Vampa. As the blasts dissipated, Broly rose up once again in his full power Super Saiyan state. It seems like nothing could stop him, even if they were stronger. This is when Goku took a deep breath, slowly walking towards Broly. Broly rushed his way, and Goku jumped backwards, using a Godbind to stop him in his tracks. Goku explained to him, "I know what you're going through. I know what it feels like to be treated the way you have, to be used as a pawn and then tossed away. My power too was feared when I was a young kid, and I was locked away for many years, not unlike you. Trust me, Broly, I know what you're going through, and I think I can help you out. Vegeta and I can, so come on. I like a good match as much as the next guy, but the way you're moving, you're going to destroy Earth, and then you'll be lost forever." Broly finally calmed down, slowly de-transforming into his base form. Goku tilted his head. Vegeta pushed him out of the way as he began to insult Broly, explaining to him just exactly he could have done to win the fight. Frieza left without anything else to say. It was clear that it was a lost cause, but he promised to return. Now, Shilai and Lemo decide to stay on Earth, wanting to accompany Broly. Bulma promised them that the beach house she had built in the area where Goku and Vegeta could fight at will would be their new home. Now the Dragon Team lives happily ever after, right? Well, true believers, that's not the case this time, as an even bigger threat looms over the horizon. This time one of pure dark magic, a god-like figure named Moro.
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back.
I hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you like the stuff I do, there's a way you can support the channel. By clicking the membership button, you will be able to see various tiers. Each one of them has some rewards. My personal favorite ones are the Super Saiyan hair badges that adorn your name in comments and live streams on my channel. The longer you stay a member, the larger the power up. So if you like the stuff I do and feel like supporting me in some way, be sure to check out the membership. Anyways, back to the show.
Back to our show.
And our heroes would find out about him soon enough, as they get a visit from Miras and Jacko, two galactic patrolmen. Goku, Vegeta, and Buu were training at Capsule Corp when the Galactic Patrol decided to attack, bringing them all three in. Miras begins to explain everything about how an evil wizard named Moro has escaped the Galactic Patrol prison and is on his way to Namek to restore his youth. We need the being inside of Buu, the Grand Supreme Kai. Everyone looked at Buu in surprise, except for Goku. The Grand Supreme Kai had actually shown himself during his trainings against Buu in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, in the time where he tried to achieve Super Saiyan 4. It was like meeting an old friend to Goku. Before they begin on their expedition, Goku calls on Broly for help. Miras takes the team to the Galactic Patrol's Time Chamber, where a year inside was 4 months on the outside. Some were worried about what Goku might think about the chamber, but he took it well. He didn't like it, but he was used to it at this point. Goku even asked, "The time chamber I know is a little different. Are you able to change the flow of time?" "Of course. We could make it like yours, where a day equals a year, but we aren't training. I just want to see you all go all out. Test your powers before approaching Moro. Miras was extremely impressed by all of them, and after a quick sparring match, the team travels to planet Namek, where Moro had all but wiped out the entirety of it. He had already wished for eternal youth. As soon as he finished his wish, his body became young and more powerful. Moro's first wish was stolen from him by Cranberry. His second wish was to restore his youth, and the third to break everyone out of the Galactic Patrol prison. He commanded all of his forces, which he had broken up from the prison, to get to their ship and await his next command, as he felt a powerful force. As he said this, the heroes arrived. Goku, Broly, Vegeta, Buu, and Miras. Moro welcomed the old Kaioshin and told him to go all out. Goku insists on helping, but Buu tells him to stand down as he transforms into the Kaioshin. He wanted this to be his own battle. Goku respected his friend and agreed. He was unaware of the true power of Moro. Kaioshin does an incredible job against Moro, even switching back with Buu a few times to gain an advantage. But Moro was still stronger, and Goku was getting worried, with Miras insisting on helping. What they didn't realize was that Moro was getting much stronger with every punch. Buu's friends tried to jump in, but as Vegeta attempted to transform into Super Saiyan Blue, he realized he couldn't reach past God. While Goku couldn't tap into Limit Breaker, he remained a Super Saiyan 4. Broly had a large reserve of ki left, and he was the first to jump in to help Buu. The others joined soon after, but it was clear what was going on. Moro continued to absorb all of the energy from the planet and the various fighters. Goku's energy was the most delicious power he'd ever tasted, and wanted more. He did everything in his power to blast Vegeta and Broly away, rapidly transforming as he gained more ki. Miras realized that he couldn't win like this, yelling at Vegeta to retreat. Vegeta didn't want to leave Goku and Broly, but it seemed like he was the only reasonable one. They needed to retreat and plan things out, but Broly was rampaging and Goku couldn't listen. With Miras' help, Buu and Vegeta teleported away, and Vegeta promised that he would get help. Broly rampages on, but slowly his power is eaten away. It looks like there's an opening. Goku could possibly do it, but Broly turns to tell Goku that the Super Saiyan 4 Goku he knows is no longer there. Caught in Moro's grasp, Goku is snapped out of Super Saiyan 4 to reveal something everyone feared for a long time. These years at Kami's had taken a toll on him. The time he just spent in the time chamber meant that he had reached the years where a Saiyan would rapidly age. Before Broly laid an old man. No wonder he stayed permanently in Super Saiyan 4. That state reverted Saiyans back to their prime. Moro was only playing games, and he declared himself the victor. Enjoying the power which Broly and Goku had gifted him, he rose up to the sky in his spaceship, looking over the planet. There was no more use for this, was there? In the blink of an eye, while Broly held on to Goku, planet Namek exploded. Back on Earth, Moro's men quickly reached the Earth's defenses, but Chi-Chi, Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, 16, 17, and 18 were having a harder time than they thought they would, thanks to the large number of enemies. The androids fared much better than the rest, but some enemies managed to escape through the planet, including 7-3. The menace reached Kami's lookout, looking for a powerful key presence in the world. He had locked onto Dende. Mr. Popo and Dende were terrified. They didn't know what to do. Tien had followed 7-3 and locked himself in combat. They needed the Dragon Balls in case something happened. They couldn't let Dende die. Tien pleaded with them to run, but 7-3 grabbed Tien by the throat and absorbed his power, growing an extra eye and throwing the man off the lookout. Popo did what he could to defend Dende, but it was no use. Dende was grabbed by 7-3 and perished. 7-3 smiled as he received Dende's power and realized something.
The Namekian, he knew how to make Dragon Balls.
7-3 crossed his legs and sat down, closing his eyes and creating a brand new set of Dragon Balls for Moro and himself to use. As everyone on Earth continued to try and defend it, the Grand Kai, Goku, Vegeta, Miras, Raditz, and Broly appeared on the battlefield. Broly asked what just happened, and Raditz explained that Vegeta contacted him and told him that his instant transmission may be needed, as Kakarot refused to stop the fight, and the Grand Supreme Kai was way too hurt. Raditz saved them all at the last second, but it was clear that Kakarot was in a bad shape. He looked so old. They knew this would happen one day. Raditz says they need to get Dende to heal him. The other fighters, they will keep everyone else busy down here. Raditz places 2 fingers on his forehead, but I can't find Dende's energy.
He couldn't have been... no way. Where's Tien?
He seems to be gone too, but there's a key presence similar to both of them at Kami's lookout. Along with the team realized that the Dragon Balls were now under Moro's control, and they must have already made a wish. In fact, they watch as the Dragon Balls are spread around the world from the lookout. They can only wonder what hellish wish Moro must have made. 7-3 kneeled before Moro, as they see his mane has grown long and wild. Moro says that he really does feel the power, having wished to be the strongest being in the universe. He then turned to 7-3 and swallowed him whole, apologizing. He couldn't allow anyone else to use the Dragon Balls against him. Everyone felt the insane power increase when Moro suddenly teleported to the battlefield, everyone looking at him terrified. Vegeta's heart beat fast, until he heard Goku whisper, "Kami, Piccolo." Vegeta's eyes widened and turned to the Grand Kai, telling him that they need to get Piccolo from hell. Goku is asking for him. He may know something. The Grand Kai explained that he didn't have enough energy, but Raditz put a hand on the Grand Kai, giving him a portion of his ki, using Spirit Fission. The Grand Kai thanked him, saying that he trusts Goku and Vegeta, teleporting himself and Goku over to the Kaioshin realm. All of the other Z fighters rushed alongside Vegeta, not letting anyone approach, with a new ally arriving at the battlefield, Zamasu. I felt Goku's energy depleted. I knew something was going on. I'm here to help. With the Z fighters ready, the battle began. At the Kaioshin realm, Shin hugs the Grand Kai tightly. It had been a millennia since the last time they saw each other, and the Grand Kai was happy to see him too, but he needed their help. Goku is asking for somebody known as Piccolo, who resides in hell. Shin's face went pale. Piccolo was the horrible being that did some terrible things to Goku. Was he sure? What for? With no more time for questions, Shin requested Piccolo be brought to the Kaioshin realm, asking Yama personally. He complied, though it was after some arguing. Piccolo's cape flowed gallantly. Everyone was a little anxious, but the Namekian slowly approached Goku on the ground.
Son Goku, you've looked better, my friend.
And you've gone a bit green. Piccolo and Goku talked in private for a minute, until he finally realized Goku's plan.
Those Dragon Balls, are you sure? It's risky. Many lives will be lost.
Trust me, I have a plan. If we do this right, then all the innocent civilians will be returned to life.
Very well, my friend. I shall bring back all those years I took from you. Grand Kai, please, take me to the lookout on Earth.
While Moro defeated everyone left and right, Broly, Vegeta, and Zamasu were the only ones left standing. Even so, they were extremely damaged. Nappa commented on how powerful this being was. He hadn't fought in a long time and he was really rusty, but he could just see it. Moro had a fighter's eyes. Meanwhile, the Grand Kai, Piccolo, and Goku roamed the lookout, until stumbling upon a room. Once there, Goku couldn't help but feel Moro defeating his friends. He turned to the Grand Kai, telling him that he's going to the battlefield while Piccolo does his thing. Piccolo promised Goku to atone for his sins, and they nod to each other. With Goku teleporting to the battlefield, only to watch Broly berserking against Moro, who was clearly just toying with him. Moro lets go of Broly and turns to Goku.
I defeated you once, old man. I can do it again. Your frail body can't do anything against me. You're hurt and weak. You're all alone.
I'm not alone, Moro. I have my old friends
and enemies by my side.
A bright light hugged Goku, with Moro wondering what the hell was happening. At the lookout, we see Piccolo enter the Grand Kai in front of a huge red Shenron, worried but hopeful. Moro then saw a set of Dragon Balls disappearing from the lookout into the galaxy.
Another set? What the?
The light dims down to reveal a young, bashful Goku, displaying the age he should be. Goku thanked Piccolo and Kami under his breath, and finally thanked the Dragon Balls. He was given back all those years that were taken from him. Goku smiled, activating Ultra Ego. But this wasn't the Ultra Ego he revealed during the Tournament of Power. His younger body allowed him to do something incredible, utilizing Ultra Ego on top of Super Saiyan 4. Moro realized what was happening, and he smirked. He knew that he had wished to be the strongest in the universe. It was time to test if those Dragon Balls really did their job. Moro and him crashed, nearly breaking apart the whole planet. Everyone cheered, although it seemed to Vegeta like Goku was fighting without a care for the planet. Vegeta commented on this, but Piccolo said, "The planet's doomed either way, Vegeta. We need to get out of here. It's all part of Goku's plan." Vegeta was surprised to finally meet the person Goku had talked about for so long, but if Kakarot trusted him, it must be for a good reason. The Kai gathered everyone, including Bulma, Trunks, and the pregnant Chi-Chi. They all teleported to the Kaioshin realm. Zamasu wanted to go back and help Goku, but Piccolo told everyone to calm down. Goku had a plan. Bulma asked what the other set of Dragon Balls was, and Piccolo explained. "Those Dragon Balls were created by me, before separating into Kami and Piccolo a long time ago. They are unstable, and the negative energy they create will destroy Earth in a year's time. All that negative energy now resides within Earth." Everyone began to argue and complain. How could Goku do this? This was his plan? But Piccolo said that it will all become clear. But first, they needed Miras' help. In the meantime, Goku realized that the raw power of Ultra Ego Super Saiyan 4 was not what he needed at the moment. It was powerful, but Moro was far stronger. What he needed to do was able to move and dodge Moro's attacks. What he needed was Ultra Instinct. He knew he had it in him, he could do it somehow. But it was the first time in his life where he struggled so much. He needed to tap into it. He needed Vegeta. Vegeta, that's right! What would Vegeta do in this situation? He closed his eyes and tried to think like the prince. And slowly he started to dodge attacks. This wasn't Ultra Instinct. It was something akin to what Master Roshi did in the manga. Clearly, Goku had a lot to learn from Vegeta, but if he could somehow combine Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego, then he would be the perfect fighter. As of now, this would have to do. Eventually, however, Moro got tired of all of this. He was supposed to be the strongest being. Maybe he just needed a little bit more power. Moro began to absorb all of the power from Earth, to the point where it seemed like he began to fuse with the planet. Goku couldn't do anything to stop it, but he didn't need to either. This is exactly what he wanted. Goku apologized to Earth, looking over at Grandpa Gohan's old home. He sighed. All the years he spent defending it, he had to sacrifice at this one time. Goku teleported over to the Kaioshin realm. Thankfully, Moro was distracted while becoming one with Earth. Everyone ran to hug the young Goku, and he said that he was happy to see them again, and that he trusted that Piccolo told him the idea. Bulma asked Goku if he was sure, and Goku told her to trust him this one time. Miras then nods at Goku as the two disappear. We cut to a different planet, one that looks like a desert. There, Goku stands alone. He concentrated his ki, sensing Moro, until Moro finally sensed him back. The being teleported instantly to where Goku was. He was slowly deforming, it seemed. Parts of Earth were growing off of him, but because he had so much power already, he was able to control it a little bit more than the Moro in the manga. Goku and Moro stood in front of a pyramid-like structure. Miras was behind them, standing right in front of the door. Moro licked his lips. He wanted to take even more power, and if he could take Miras's, then he would be unstoppable. Goku taunted him, telling him to come at him. As the two clashed one more time and began to fight, Goku was trying to lure Moro into the time chamber. When he finally screamed out, the angel swung the door open, with Moro and Goku both going into the time chamber. Moro looked around. He didn't know what this place was, but Goku was all too familiar. Goku said that they could fight here at their heart's content and not bother anyone else. It was just him and Moro. Moro said, "Huh! You're stupid. You've really trapped yourself in here with me?" "Trapped myself? You've got it all wrong, Moro. You're trapped in here with me." Outside, everyone looked from the old Kai's crystal ball. It seems like the plan worked, and Miras shot them a thumbs up. Piccolo began to explain. "Goku's plan is simple. Moro became one with Earth. All the negative energy from the Black Star Dragon Balls now resides in him. If Goku and Moro can fight it out for 1 year in the time chamber, then Moro will explode from the inside out, thanks to the negative energy from the Black Star Balls. All he has to do is keep him from screaming and escape himself. Miros was able to modify his time chamber to match the one on Earth. Now, we just wait. Goku knew exactly what one had to do to escape, and that's why he did everything in his power to stop Moro from opening his mouth. It was a hard battle, perhaps the hardest Goku has ever had, but it seemed like 7-3's Shenron only made him the strongest person in the universe at that time. The second Goku regained his youth, he shot right back up above Moro. The two continued to fight for a whole year. Although it seemed like towards the end Goku was about to lose, knocked out of Super Saiyan 4 once more, he was only fighting in his regular Super Saiyan state, but he could feel it. He could feel Moro's ki getting more and more unstable. Finally, Moro said that it was over, and Goku agreed. Instead of saying anything else, Goku screamed at the top of his lungs, opening a portal that led to the outside world. Moro was wondering what he was doing, but without saying anything else, Goku jumped out of the chamber as Moro tried to reach towards him, but instead exploded. Goku was propelled out of the chamber, tired and beat. No more signs of Moro as Genki particles floated up to the sky, returning back to where they belonged. Goku sighed in relief. He looked over at Miras, who shot him a thumbs up. Goku said, "You know, you'd make a pretty good angel." Miras perked up. "How did you know?" "Huh, the white hair. You look just like Whis because of it." And thus, the day was once again saved, thanks to the efforts of Goku and Vegeta, as long as everyone else. The team gathered the 7 magic Super Dragon Balls with the help of Zamasu, who for a second did think about stealing Goku's body, but resigned. Instead, everyone wished for any damage done by Moro to be returned to normal. Thus, everyone and Earth was returned to life. Goku and Vegeta sat on top of his childhood home, watching Zamasu and Broly fight. They were their students now, which was funny. "You know, Kakarot, that was a close call. You spent so much time in the time chamber, you almost croaked like an old man." "Huh, I know. But you guys saved me, and I thank you all for that. It took me a long time to admit that I needed help from everyone else, and that I couldn't do things on my own. I wouldn't be here without you, Vegeta." "What do you get at being all mushy? Don't be ridiculous." "But I admit, we make a pretty great team. Don't you think it's finally time to have a rematch against Beerus?" "Huh, to be honest, I haven't thought about it. But if we do that, I want you to be by my side, Vegeta." "I wouldn't have it any other way, Kakarot. But first, let's see whose student is the best." "Right, let's do this, Vegeta."